Hi Gemini, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol. Gemini, this is going to be a general reading for September 2024. So before I do my reading for you, I have to tell you this really short story about the significance of the neon green dragonfly that you might have seen when you clicked on my video. And this was a picture that was sent to me from my daughter about 2 weeks ago. I looked at it and we exchanged a few words on it, and I'll get to those words in a minute, but I put it away and it was like, for some reason, it was like, I'm not looking at this. And I know better, and I think she knows that she sent it to me for a reason, because she knows that I'm interested in spiritual animals, and in particular ones that are kind of random and odd and show up out of nowhere. And I mean, I think you'll agree with me that this is an incredible picture. And so, my ego self would have said to me, it means nothing. It's meant for her. She's the one that spotted it. But the thing is here, she sent it to me. And I'm sure I was probably the only person she sent it to, because she knew I would have been interested in it. And so when I sat down to think about a reading for you the other night, the picture of that neon green dragonfly came to me, and I'm like, okay, that was the intuitive nudge that I got. I need to look at this picture again. And so I looked up, the first thing I did was I looked up our conversation that my daughter and I had on Messenger. The first thing she said to me was, look at this guy, I spotted him. And when I looked up the significance of the dragonfly as a spiritual animal, actually, what I did was I looked at the story of the dragonfly, and what it takes for them to get here on this earth, and before we can actually see them. And so they have this incredible metamorphosis, this incredible transformation of going from this water-dwelling nymph insect to this adult flying thing that we see around. And as an adult, they only last about 1 to 2 weeks typically, but they can last up to 6 to 8 weeks. So the fact that she spotted him was incredible. I have never seen a neon green dragonfly. And when you look at this picture, I mean, it looks fake. And that was my reaction. It looked fake. And I said, touch it. And because I thought it was like a kid that had stuck it to, a post or something. And to be honest with you, that was my belief. And it almost still is, because it looks so real. I mean, so fake. So much of it has, these pearly eyes, and the wings have like almost like this, it looks like it's gold plated or something. And the fact that it's neon green, I had to look up, Googled if there's such a thing as a neon green dragonfly. I mean, it's like this illusion. It looks fake, but it's real. And then when I asked her to touch it, her response was, ooh, no. And that was huge significance for me, because what is it about ourselves that we believe to be true, but it's a real illusion, because underneath it all, it's fake. And we're afraid to look at it, to dig it out and look at it and see, what is it about this that is not real? And so there was my reading for you. I was going to do a reading, and I'm going to call it Moving Beyond the Illusion. So the first thing I want to look at in your reading is, what false idea or belief about yourself that you need to become aware of. And you might not even know, because sometimes it has that, ooh, I don't want to look at it. Because, we walk around with masks and we believe that this is who we are. But when we start to dig at it, it's not really who we are. It's something usually that people told us about ourselves, and we've grown up to believe this is who we are. And so in the second part of the reading, I'm going to do some shadow work. And so I'm going to look at what shadow aspect is driving or impacting this illusion that you have about yourself. So it's going to dig up something from childhood that probably, you've learned about yourself and you continue to believe it. And so if you're not familiar with those two terms, shadow or shadow work, I'm going to leave a really good video that I've done on my other channel called Carol Cares. And it's called My Powerful 4-Step to Shadow Work. And it's all about facing your own shadow. And I really walk you through how I have faced and continue to face my own shadow intensively so I can heal my own childhood trauma. And then in the last part of the reading, I'm going to look at, how can you begin to heal this shadow aspect that's coming up for you so that you can move beyond this illusion and heal yourself. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. When I sat down and put together this reading, I said, well, you know what? This has something for me. She sent it to me 2 weeks ago. And so what I did was I had to look at, in the last 2 weeks, how have I been healing, or what do I need to look at that, what illusion of myself do I need to move beyond for personal growth? Because the color green is all about personal growth and healing and transformation. And sure enough, that's what I've been doing. And so I know that this had a lot to do with me and my own healing journey, of course. It always does when I do these readings. And so I hope that this has a lot to do with you, and you let me know below if you resonate with the reading that I'm going to do for you right now. So let's get started with your reading. In today's reading, I'm going to be using 3 decks. So I'm going to start off with a new deck I have. It's called Animal Guides Tarot by Radleigh Valentine. And obviously, we have the kind of the spirit animal theme going on with our dragonfly. I want to keep calling him grasshopper for some reason. I'm like, no, it's a dragonfly. Okay, so we're using that deck just to pick out the 3 main cards for our areas that we're going to look at. We're going to clarify it with the Rider-Waite deck, and then I'm going to pull a spirit animal card from the Colette Baron Reed's A Spirit Animal Pocket Oracle deck, which is my favorite oracle deck, probably because it's spirit animals. Forgot to do it in my Taurus reading, so I had to go back and put it in. So I'll try not to forget it in this one. If I do, I'll go back and put it in for sure. So let's start off with this. And yeah, before I forget, I'm going to start now because another thing I forgot in my Taurus reading. So this card right here that's sitting here under my yellow Cardinal, it is the overriding energy. It's the King of Swords, and it's the overriding energy for this reading. And I took this card from your yearly reading, Gemini, in that I picked 12 cards for you in January of 2024. I did a yearly reading for you. It's linked in my description box if you want to see it. But this card was picked for you this month. And the King of Swords the king is our masculine part of ourself. It's our ego self. And the sword is all about authenticity, who we are. And, the ego self is very much one who is not authentic because it puts on these masks. It tries to keep us safe, and it wants to portray, a certain us to whoever they come in contact with. And so they have many masks they put on with different people. But the true authentic self is buried underneath that. But the king doesn't want to go near, our ego self doesn't want to go near, our emotions and finding out who we really are. And so it'll often block a lot of our own personal journey, believe it or not, to go inwards and back into our body and to start to feel and start to uncover some of these things that are in our shadow and find out who we really are. And so this is coming out here. So I guess it's it'll come up in our reading as well. I'll refer back to it sometimes where, becoming aware of how our ego self is really trying to block us from taking that route to become who we really are. And that's part of moving beyond the illusion, right, of who we really are and what we tell ourselves. So let's begin your reading now. I'm going to ask Tarot, and I've pre-shuffled all of these. I'm going to ask Tarot to give me, 1 to 3 cards here, because I want 1 card for each section here. So let's just start shuffling through. And here's our first card. So this is the false idea and belief about yourself, which is the 7 of Earth. The 7 of Pentacles here has come up as your first card. The 7 of Pentacles. And what shadow aspect is deriving? Let's see if we have another card here that wants to come up. You have the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Water, which is our Swan card. And the other one obviously was your Cow card, the 7 of Earth. Now some of these animals I pull out may have something, significant for some reason for you that I'm pulling out. The third one is, how can I begin to heal this shadow? So how can Gemini begin to heal this shadow aspect right here? 1 card for that, please. Here we go. We have the 10 of Earth, the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. How you can begin to heal this. All right, so let's turn to the Rider-Waite deck. And again, I pre-shuffled them. Just going to give these a quick shuffle here. And I have my oracle cards ready to go at the end. Put them right here so I remember. All right, can I have 2 to 3 clarifiers for the 7 of Earth? Tell me some more about the 7 of Earth. 7 of Pentacles, please. Okay, so you have the death card right next to the Devil card. 2 powerful major arcana cards, which tells me there's big universal forces here working here with you, against you. The 7 of Cups, another 7. You have the 7 of Earth and the 7 of Cups, and the Queen of Wands. Can you tell me more about this Swan right here, which is the Queen of Water, the Queen of Cups? 2 to 3 cards, please, for clarification. Swan. A couple more cards. Okay, you have the Judgment card, the 9 of Pentacles in reverse, and the Moon card. 10 of Earth, 10 of Pentacles. 2 to 3 cards, please, for this card. Tell me some more about this. 10 of Pentacles in reverse. The Golden Retriever dog. I think I forgot to say that. And too many cards here, so I'm going to pick them all up. Sometimes I just can't. It wasn't obvious which ones I wanted to pick, so I'll try that again. 10 of Earth, please. Oh, I'm going to turn that one around. It was supposed to be that. Okay, we got 1. Let's see. Oh, no, we got 2. So I'm going to ask for 1 more card. Here I go. Okay. Ace of Wands, 8 of Cups. You have the 7 at the beginning. That's in reverse. And the 9 of Cups. So that's interesting. In this reading, you have the 7, the 8, and the 9 of Cups. Cups are all about emotions here. So, and then you have the Queen of Cups here. So significant amount of cups here going on, which is interesting because, I mentioned about your King of Swords, who is petrified. Our ego self is petrified of emotions. And it will not want you to go inwards in your body and start to feel some of what you need to feel to heal, right? We need to feel to heal, and that is so, so true. You can't go around it. You have to go through it. So let's look at what false idea or belief about yourself that you need to become aware of. Well, the first card that comes out is our Cow card, the 7 of Earth, which is the 7 of Pentacles. And so you're sitting here in a position right now where, you're kind of starting, maybe you've been doing it for a while, where you're contemplating your life. And we often do this. We can go through periods of it, through our whole life. We're just kind of going, is this it? Is this everything? There's got to be more to my life. There's got to be more to life. So it's like the 7 is all about this introspection, and you have 2 7s here. So I'm wondering if you're in a real position where you're just starting to kind of, feeling a little bit philosophical and starting to kind of wonder, is there more to life here? Is this it? I mean, it could have to do with your job, because the Pentacle does talk about your workspace, but the Pentacle also talks about your health. And so maybe you've been going through some health crisis where it's just like, am I going to live with this forever? Like, is this my life? Do I have to just deal with this forever? Is this what I have? It could be to do with your self-worth. The Pentacle is all about your self-worth as well. And so maybe that's getting, that's taking a hit again. It's something where you're kind of just going, is this it? Is this everything? And so we're going to get some more clarification on that, and sort of like, what false idea or belief do you have? And I mean, that's a big one. When you start to believe that this is it and you're giving up. For example, if you were sitting in depression and you say to yourself, well, I'm going to be depressed forever. This is it. Well, it's not true. I've suffered from depression, and I still do. I've battled some of it, the last few days where I was sitting in it and I had to work through it. And I journal a lot from my depression, my hopelessness. And so I can go in it and I can go out of it. And same thing with anxiety. If you've been diagnosed, if you've been told you have something, and you're kind of, well, is this must be it. I have this diagnosis. It must be it. And it's not true. And so whatever it is for you, it's a general reading. You have the death card here. And the death card speaks about, look at these dead people. This horse is trampling through this skeletal figures sitting on this horse, trampling through these dead people here. And what this means is, and I was told this at the beginning of my own healing journey, and I didn't want to hear it. And my therapist said to me, and I still have her after 7.5 years, and she said, Carol, there are people that you're going to lose on this journey. And I didn't want to hear that. And this card is coming up, and it's a card of saying, there are things that right now that you need to consider letting go. People that you need to let go, walk away from, maybe take space from, set some boundaries with. But it really is a strong card. It's a universal major arcana, universal energy here that's saying there are things or people that need to go in your life right now. And right behind it is, interestingly enough, is the devil. And the devil card is, in my healing journey, or in my healing deck, because this is a healing channel. And so I see it as attachments, things that you're attached to. We can be attached to people. We can be attached to addictions. It really is an attachment card. It's those things that we attach on to because we don't want to deal with our own stuff. We don't want to do the inwards journey. We don't want to go, and we don't want to look at things. So I would imagine that these are some of the things that are blocking you from this illusion that you have of yourself that are helping you actually keep this illusion going that you have of yourself, right? So if there's a lot of pain underneath, for example, brewing, well, we can keep this, hang on to these people. They'll help us, distract us, or protect us from this pain that we need to get to. And so you need to ask yourself, it's a general reading here, what attachments, and like I said, they could be things, they could be people, but what is it that you're attached to? What sort of addictions do you have? And we all know our addictions. Believe me, I know mine, and they come in and out. What are we attached to? Because that's what we'll go to when we want to avoid the pain, the things that we need to look at. Yeah. And so, because that's part of, this whole thing of, you have the Seven of Pentacles there, thing, is this it? Well, no, it's not it. But there's some things that you need to let go of, or people that you need to let go of in order to find out what's on the other side of, is that it? And here's another seven, another introspective card, Seven of Pentacles, and this Seven of Cups. And this is like all these emotions, all these cups on offer for you. But it's really clouded here, right? It's really clouded here. And so for me, it's like, I see this as a real distraction card. A card that really keeps us distracted from what we need to do, what we need to look at, right? If I think of that dragonfly and the response of my daughter was, ew, like, no way, I don't want to look at this. And so what we do is we will distract ourselves with our addictions, with our attachments, because we don't want to look at this stuff. I didn't want to look at that dragonfly and what's behind the significance of it. Queen of Wands here. Queen of Wands comes in. She's the feminine aspect to ourselves. She's the, she holds the wand, and so she's the feminine side of us. And we all have a masculine and a feminine side. It doesn't matter what gender we are, but she holds the creativity that we all have inside of us. She holds the wand that goes towards our true purpose and who we really are. And so the universe is coming in here going, you have all these distractions, this illusion, right, going on of, like you're like I said, you're trying to figure out, what's on the other side of this, and maybe you've accepted that this is it, but it's not. But you have so much covering that up that you need to get to. And this is what the Queen of Wands is saying, it's time now to really start focusing on, it's time to get reconnected to that feminine aspect of yourself, your body. This is the feminine aspect of yourself, right? And find out, what's your true purpose? What is your true purpose that lies beyond this? Is this everything? Because there's another side to that. And so we're going to get some clarity here from your shadow aspect of you. This is going to be, those things that you've repressed about yourself from childhood or adolescence. You've put them away and you don't even know what it is. It lives in our unconscious. And if you don't think that the shadow or the unconscious is a thing, well, you've probably clicked off by now, or you will click off. But, this is a channel that I know that I'm not going to get like a huge number of followers. And I know there are some tarot readers out there that have like, in the 100,000s, because those are the tarot readers that will tell you the easy way, like thinking that, there's a new lover out there for you. There's money that's coming in for you. It's not true. I followed tarot for a long time before I did my own tarot channel. And yeah, so let's look at what's in your shadow. You have the Queen of Cups. And here's another feminine queen here. So you have two queens in your reading, which is really, a direction towards the feminine side of you. She's the queen of emotions, water. Water has everything to do with emotions. And if I look at the swan, I mean, swans are the most beautiful thing about them is that they're graceful, and you know, they're just gliding along this water. And emotions are meant to, you know, glide in, flow in, feel, to be felt, and flow out. But emotions, when we're younger in our shadow, they get stuck in our body because really when we're younger, we're too young, we're too little to feel these big, huge emotions. And so we've put them away, hid them far, far from ourselves. And so there is this aspect here of you know, getting back into your body, your feminine side of feeling some of these emotions here that need to be felt, that are in your shadow. And for you to get to that other side, you need to start feeling some of these, because in your shadow is the Judgment card. There is a call for you here. There's a call for you to get back into your body and feel your emotions. Look at these people, they're rising. There's something here for you. Believe it or not, and it's something that I had to learn, when we start to peel layers of trauma, emotions that are sitting in our shadow, there are also gifts there. There are things that we find out about ourselves that we didn't know. I didn't know that I was supposed to be a tarot reader. I had no idea. And the only way I became a tarot reader was after having worked through a shit ton of my own trauma. And I'm able to come here and read you these cards. And they're all related to your shadow and trauma and healing journey, because I've been on it and still am on it. But that's something I didn't know. It was a gift that I could do, and I didn't know I had it. And so there are gifts here. And there's a call here for you to get back into your shadow and to start to feel some of these emotions, to start, you know, peeling away at what it is in here. You have the Nine of Pentacles that's in reverse, and the Nine of Pentacles talks about, maybe I spoke too soon here, but it talks about there's abundance here. It talks about abundance. And but it's with the pentacle of grounding and reconnecting to your body. It's in reverse here. And so, you know, we know already, because there's been such a call here for you to get back to that feminine aspect to yourself, because there's something here for you in your shadow, and it's blocked here. And here's the call to get to it. And the biggest call is because you have emotions here that you need to feel that you couldn't feel when you were younger. And the last card in your shadow is there's the Moon. There's something hidden here for you. The Moon talks about things that are hidden from you. And there are a lot of things that are hidden. You don't know what's in your shadow. But it's time now to start to, you know, and we're going to look at what the tarot has to say. I don't know. I put the cards down, but I don't know. I kind of read them one by one, and then I feel as I get to the next card, it's like, okay, it clarifies what I just said. And it's just, I don't, you know, for me, that's how I read my cards. So I know that there's something in your shadow for you that's hidden from you. And our shadow is hidden, but there's something good in here. It's abundance. Nine of Pentacles is an abundance card. And I talked about it already before I hit the card, that there's some gifts in there for you. There's something here. And because, you know, it makes sense. Because you're sitting here going, is there something else? There's something else out there for me. And the reason why you're sitting there saying that is because, yes, the universe is nudging you. Yes, there is something out there for you. And it's telling you, it's sitting right in the middle of your shadow. There is a gift for you. There's abundance in there. It's not a promise of money. It's not a promise of a new lover. But there's gifts in there. Something that you don't even know that you can do, that you're meant to do. Queen of Wands is the one that has that creative direction, that purposeful direction for you, right? So what can you begin to heal? What do you need to heal? Where do you start? You know, I can tell you this stuff, But where do you start? Like, how do I get into my body? How do I start, So we're going to go see what the tarot says. This is a process. This healing journey is a process for you. So where do you begin? Well, let's begin with the Ten of Earth. And this is it's in reverse. And when the Ten of Earth comes in, it's the Ten of Pentacles in my deck. And in an upright position, because this is blocked, right? So it's because there's a resistance to you going to it. Or, it could be blocked by your ego self saying, don't go there. But what is the Ten of Pentacles? The Ten of Pentacles in an upright position is a card of, it's a card, it's a generational card. It's often depicted with different generations on it. And it's exactly what this card is. You have this, it looks like a family card, generational card, where you have, you can see that the elderly one, the elder dog, is up, the father, I guess, of these dogs. But it really is, like, you usually see it as family or generations on this Ten of Pentacles, because it talks about family, it talks about generations, it talks about those things that were handed down to us generation to generation. And in my deck, it talks about generational trauma. It talks about those things that were handed down to you, including trauma, that we need to become aware of. And wait, now it's blocked, like you're not aware of it. And oftentimes we need to ask ourselves, and we know, like, if you think about your own caretakers, your own parents, your own grandparents, your uncles, your aunts, people around you that you were raised by, you often have an idea of what kind of family you came from, right? And that is a huge clue to, all right, these are the kind of things that I'm dealing with here that I probably inherited as well. Because, generational trauma is something that's handed down. I knew very well what kind of family I came from, but there was a big part of my own family history that I didn't know until I started digging into my own family, my own shadow, my own trauma, my complex trauma that I didn't know I had. And so yeah, that's what it's saying. You need to start off with, take a look at where you came from, your generational trauma. And because here's the Ace of Wands here. Here's a gift from the universe. The universe wants to take you in a different direction. The universe wants to take you in a direction towards your true purpose. Here's the true purpose. Here's the abundance that's sitting here right in the middle of your shadow that's hidden from you. And also, it's the other side. It's the other side of, is this everything? Well, here's the other side of it right here. This is where the universe wants to take you. But you start off with looking at, where did I come from? What did I come from? And here's the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups talks about a card of walking away. It's very interesting that this is coming up for you right now, because you have this, that was the first card that came for you as a clarification about walking away from something, somebody. And I know there's a real resistance on your part to looking at that or doing that, but here it is again. And the universe is saying, I want to take you in this different direction, but you need to walk away. And in particular, this card in an upright position is walking away from, not walking away from your emotions, but it's walking away so that you can take time to start to get back into your body and to feel some of these emotions that you need to feel that's related to your generational trauma. And it's time to start to feel. And but there's a resistance here to doing it. And the last card that comes in for you, it's in reverse again. And this is this individual. This is this individual here that's sitting here. It's the Nine of Cups. And he's sitting here with his arms crossed. And a lot of times, I've been accused of this before, but a lot of times when someone sits here, and I think it is a comfortable position, but it also can be kind of a block. Like it creates this barrier, right? And so this individual is sitting in front of this blue blanket that's covering something. He has 9 pentacles, and he's not yet at 10. 10 is that full range of emotion that we're meant to feel of our emotions. I said 10 pentacles. He has 9 cups is what I think I meant to say. But he has 9 cups here, and he's one away from that full range of cups of emotions that we're meant to feel. But he's crossed his arms saying, I'm good, thanks. I don't want to go any further. And so the universe is saying, you know, you need to go further here. Maybe you're that individual and you said, you know what? I don't want to touch my emotions. I don't want to go further here. You know, and there's this big fear. We can have this big fear. Part of our illusion can be that, you know, digging deep into our emotions is going to be extremely painful and it's going to be extremely scary. And yeah, it is. But you see, a lot of this stuff that you need to dig up, your generational trauma here, is stuff that you as a child, as a young child and an adolescent, had to feel and couldn't. And so they stuffed it all away in their shadow, and they're unconscious in their body. And now you're an adult and you can do this. You can start to feel. And very slowly. Okay, Gemini, so I'm going to pull a card, a spirit animal card for you. And just before I pull it, I want to say that if you're interested in a personal reading, I forgot to mention it at the beginning, I am offering personal readings on my channel. And so you will find the link to my personal readings in the comment section, description box. And I'm also offering 10% off for these readings until September 15th. I have extended the date for you. So if you're interested before September 15th, and if you follow the link, you will find a list of about 6 personal readings that I could offer you. So there will be something there for you, I'm sure. So let's begin with your card. Oh, here we go. Oh, you got the dragonfly spirit. And there's no reversals here. So what do they say? 22. Truth transcends illusion. All right. I was hoping that it would come out, and it did come out. So you're the first reading that's come out for. Dragonfly spirit is here to remind you of the wisdom and truth available at all times. Just as a dragonfly catches your eye with its reflective wings and body, dragonfly spirit appears to tell you to pay attention to the truth beyond the illusion and recognize the insights that come seemingly out of nowhere. In the realm of spirit, there's far more wisdom than you can perceive with your own senses. And there is a deep knowing that you are not separate or alone. So, what's the message here? Did you really think this world of the senses is all there is? From the hidden mystical realms, signs are being sent to you, but perhaps you have perceived separation and convinced yourself that you are on your own. Have you fallen into spiritual amnesia and forgotten your connection to a living, loving, always supportive universe? So, if so, rub the sleep out of your eyes, for Dragonfly Spirit is here to remind you of all the love and support available to you in every moment. And I think this is kind of referring to that whole, is this everything? When there's not. There's something here bigger for you. And so I'm going to give you, I'm going to leave you with a video, a playlist on journaling. And journaling is one way that I get in touch with my emotions. And I'll also leave you with a playlist on grounding, because that teaches you how to get back into your body so you can start to feel some of these emotions. So you learn how to ground, you ground yourself. And when you ground yourself, people think that it's all zen. Not really, because when you start to ground yourself, you can start to feel. And emotions are going to come up, ones that you've been blocking for a long time. And that's when you start to journal from these emotions, when you're feeling. And I teach you how to journal from your emotions. So I'll leave you with grounding and journaling. And yeah, so take care. And Gemini, I'll see you 2 weeks from now. Bye-bye.